So I just got here to India a couple days ago. Just settled in, got some rest. I'm headed to a Vipassana course in a few hours here. It's going to be a Satipatthana Sutta course, which is similar to the regular 10-day Vipassana courses, but it goes a little bit more in depth to the practice for people that have gone to at least 3 of the 10-day Vipassana courses, the ones with Goenka, the free ones all around the world. And I'm really excited to be here. I'm really excited to be in the city where it said that the Buddha was enlightened, Bodh Gaya. It's a really cool area. It's definitely a bit of a culture shock. I feel like I'm kind of in the middle of nowhere. I mean, I was walking along the street and I get a lot of looks, a lot of people staring. I think I look pretty out of place. For example, I think at one of the nicer hotels in the area, they don't have towels. You get half a roll of toilet paper. It's definitely different than back home, but I'm really excited to be here. What they might lack in material objects, they definitely make up for in spiritual power and a lot of genuine people and smiles, and everybody's very nice. So I'm really happy to be here. These Vipassana meditation courses for me are always kind of like a spring cleaning for your mind. I always notice that it brings up a lot of memories from the past. It brings up a lot of things that you might be working through on the inside and that hold you back mentally. And when you can really sit with those and you can bring them up to the surface by just being with yourself, observing your body, your breath, your sensations, it really clears out a lot of things and you end up feeling lighter and freer by the end of it. And it's always been a big cornerstone in my life for advancing in terms of happiness as a skill. So I'm really excited to be here, and I'm here during May, which is said to be the Buddha's birthday. The full moon was yesterday, which is called Wesak. It's the holy time in Buddhism where the full moon in May is when the Buddha was born, when he passed away, and when he was enlightened. So it's a cool time to be out here. I'm really excited to be going to the Dhamma Bodhi Vipassana Center, which is right here in Bodh Gaya for the Vipassana course, the Satipatthana course, and just kind of dive deeper into the practice, really establish mindfulness. That's what Satipatthana means. It's the establishing of mindfulness. So being aware of your body, being aware of your thoughts, your mind, being aware of the sensations that you're feeling, being aware of what you're experiencing. And I think that true peace and happiness are only ever going to be found in the present moment. And so that's where you've got to do your work. Other than that, it's really cool being here in India. It's very different than I was expecting. Yes and no. I mean, it's it's kind of what I was expecting. I mean, when you think of India, it's definitely India, except I think I'm a little bit off the beaten path, so I wasn't totally expecting that, but kind of just checking in before the course and seeing how I feel, what I'm expecting. I'm just expecting a deep kind of spring cleaning of the mind, which I try to do at least once a year. It hasn't happened every year. This will probably be perhaps the 10th course that I've gone to. Not all of those courses, I was there for the full time. And I lived at a Vipassana meditation center for a bit, for a while. So I've definitely spent some time with the practice, but every time I go, I'm always shocked at how much more there is to learn and practice and experience. And each course sometimes feels like the first time again. I'm always mind blown by how much deeper you can go into the present moment and experiencing the depths of the mind and happiness as a skill. So I guess what I'm hoping to take away from, uh, I keep hearing some honking in the background. There's definitely a lot of honking on the streets, but I think what I'm hoping to take away from this course is, yeah, just feeling freer, feeling lighter, letting go of anything from the past, really celebrating the Buddha's birthday and all the teachings that he brought to the world. And I've also got my grandma's ashes here I'm going to share and spread in Lumbini on the birthday that my grandma and I share. We're actually a day apart on our birthdays, but it's kind of a special little thing. But each airport did not like grandma's ashes. Each one of them thought it was definitely drugs. And so grandma got drug tested a few times. But we're happy to be here. We're happy to be in Bodh Gaya, about to head to the Vipassana course. And I'm excited. I traveled pretty lightly. I don't have a whole lot. I'm hoping that's going to be okay. I have very minimal stuff, but it's nice to be moving lightly, mentally, physically, and life is good. So, definitely grateful for the teachings of the Buddha, grateful for this beautiful place in India despite some of the, I don't want to say like culture shock, but definitely being out of place is a great place to be sometimes. It really it really brings you back to the present moment when you're a little out of place. You're kind of forced to be present. It's a new experience, it's a new place, it's new people. Sometimes it can put you a little bit on edge when you're like, wow, this is different. Like when the buses pass on the way to school, like all the kids are looking at me. They're like staring, like, what is this guy doing here? This seems like not the place he's supposed to be. Definitely the only white person I've seen since I've been in Bodh Gaya. But it's cool. I'm enjoying myself. Got a little bit of food, finally. Just trying not to eat anything that might upset my stomach. I was told, like, double check that things don't have dairy. Try not to have dairy when you're out here for some reason. I don't know. It was just something somebody told me back in the States who was from India. So we'll see. But signing off, I hope it's going to be a great course. I'm sure it will be. And I will check in afterwards. Peace. So I am here at the World Peace Pagoda in Lumbini, Nepal. It is the end of my trip to Nepal and India these last few weeks. The main thing I came here for was a Vipassana course, one of the ones by Goenka over in Bodh Gaya. And it was a special course. It's called a Satipatthana Sutta course, which is, it highlights the teachings of the Buddha on establishing mindfulness. So it's a little bit different than the 10-day Vipassana courses a lot of people out there might have heard of. And it was great. It was difficult, to be honest. It was really hot out there in the month of May, and there wasn't any air conditioning at the course center. So I really had to challenge myself, overcoming my mind, overcoming the experiences that were coming up. And one of the main things I took away from that experience was just gratitude. It made me grateful for everything I do have back at home. And being in India, I definitely got to see a lot of extreme poverty. And I've been to a lot of places. I've seen a lot of poverty before, but this was kind of on a whole different level. And it's pretty eye-opening, but it's good. And it helps you be grateful for what you do have. And the Vipassana course, it was really good. They're always really good. And the teachings of the Buddha work. It's not faith-based. They're teachings that people can take and they can experiment with for themselves. And it's the science of happiness. It's the science of the mind. And in my experience, what the Buddha was sharing was correct. There's a lot of different interpretations, but the deeper I go into it, the way that those Vipassana meditation courses are taught are definitely the essence of the Buddha's teaching on how to practice, how to establish mindfulness, how to master the art of living. And the deeper I go into it in terms of a daily practice, the more joy I find in my own life. And I really can't emphasize enough how prioritizing a happy life should be the core of everything we do. There's always going to be another number to chase, and there's always going to be another goal to chase, but it's always found in the present moment. Everything that we're trying to accomplish will always be in the present moment. So if anybody out there has considered going to one of those free Vipassana courses, I would definitely encourage you to. It's definitely made a big difference in my life, and I've seen it impact a lot of other people's lives too. And it's really cool to see people from all over the world resonate with it, from different backgrounds. And really getting the chance to practice with people in India from very different backgrounds. I was so out of place at the Dhamma Bodhi Vipassana Center in India. I was the only white male in my Vipassana course. And it was cool because a lot of people wanted to talk to me and hear what I had to say about where I lived, and I wanted to hear what they had to say about where they live and what their experiences of life are. And the core that connected us was the Vipassana and being able to experience our emotions, our sensations, our thoughts, our feelings at the deepest level. And when you can do that, you can really, when you can connect to yourself, you can connect to others very well. And it was really a blessing being able to connect to a lot of people that were connected to themselves. But like I said, it was a really difficult course, long hours sitting and meditating and mastering the mind and developing focus. So the core of the teaching is developing focus for your mind through breath meditation. And you sit with your breath for a while and you feel the physical sensations of the air coming in and out of your nose right around the entrance, and you focus your mind there for a few days, and eventually you start to work with the sensations on the body. So you go beyond just the breath and you experience the physical sensations throughout the body. And what you learn through that systematic teaching of developing awareness of the physical sensations on your body and not reacting to them is that our entire lives are built around craving for certain things and pushing certain other things away at the level of physical sensation. And the things that we crave and the things that we're pushing away, we're not actually craving for those things or pushing those things away. We're actually craving and pushing away the physical sensations that they're causing on our body. And so when we can learn stability of mind or equanimity towards those physical sensations, we start to experience profound stability of our mind, profound stability in our life, and profound stability through the highs and lows of life. And it's not that it makes us numb to life, it's that we can finally start to see life as it is and not how we want it to be. We can start to see life for what's actually happening. So Vipassana means to see things as they really are. And so much of our life is actually just a perception. It's we have what we want it to be overlaid of what really is. And when you're able to strip away that perception of things and instead view the things without that overlay of perception, there's a deep joy that comes with that because we're experiencing reality as it is. We're not experiencing this diluted form of reality. And that's where peace and happiness are found. And I'm reminded how the Buddha said that the only real happiness is peace. And we get attached to these highs and lows in life. And even with the highs, there's a lot of pain because eventually they'll end, and it's kind of like salt water. The more you drink, the more of those happy experiences you become attached to, the more that you want more of those. And the more you crave for those. And so to be able to transcend those highs and lows is where a true deeper form of happiness is found, a true deeper form of peace, which isn't just this temporary excitement. So a lot of people, when they think of happiness, they're really just thinking of this form of temporary excitement. Whereas I think what the Buddha was getting at is that there's this deep stability of mind, there's this deep presence of mind that can find peace throughout the highs and the lows. And that's really the goal, and that's really what I've found through Vipassana meditation, through meditating each day, through becoming aware of these physical sensations on the body and not reacting to them, just allowing them to be, not pushing them away, not craving, And it really has opened up a lot of freedom in my life and stability. And I don't react to things as I normally would have years ago. And I'm proud about that. And I don't think any of it is really something I can say is from myself. I've met a lot of amazing people along the way that have inspired me. And these are teachings that someone discovered thousands of years ago, I believe. And I just got back from the Buddha's palace in Nepal. I forget the name of it, it's a long name. But to be able to have traveled to these Buddhist holy sites, so I went to the Bodhi Tree where the Buddha was enlightened right after the meditation course, and that was incredibly inspiring. It made the concept of enlightenment not seem like just an idea, but as an actual thing that can be strived for in this life, and something that people actually do achieve. And it might be a very, very long goal, but there's really no other way to be walking. You're either walking towards the infinite or you're walking away from it, it feels like to me. And so the Bodhi tree where the Buddha sat under was incredibly inspiring, and to have gone there within an hour after finishing the Vipassana course was the greatest thing ever. To sit there right near the Bodhi tree and to practice meditation as the Buddha taught in the spot where he was enlightened was one of the greatest things I've ever experienced. And then shortly after that, I ran into somebody who practices Vipassana meditation as well at that Bodhi tree. And he became my guide for the rest of the trip. And it was like the craziest coincidence. He just walked up and he said, "Hey, do you want a guide?" And I said, "Sure." And he turned out to be the most knowledgeable guy ever and took me around the Bodhi tree. And I told him the sites that I was trying to go to after. So Kushinagar, Sarnath, Lumbini, and being able to spread my grandma's ashes in different places. And he was just the nicest guy ever. And he came and he coordinated all sorts of stuff for me. He got flowers and a picture from my grandma, and he got these robes that we donated at Kushinagar where the Buddha passed away. And so I was able to spread some of her ashes where the Buddha passed away. And I spread some of her ashes in Lumbini on her birthday, which, well, it was actually my birthday here in Nepal, which is on May 13th. And it was her birthday over in America on May 12th. So I did it within this time window where it was both of our birthdays. So I was able to spread her ashes during that time window where it was both of our birthdays, which was really special. And then we went to Sarnath where the Buddha first taught. That was very special. And all these spots really just reminded me that the Buddha and his teachings were more than just a concept, that these were places, this was a real person. And it's had profound impacts on people for thousands of years. Now, is it the only way to do things? Probably not. There's a lot of ways to do things, but is it the way that's worked for me? Definitely. And the Buddha always said it was kind of like a gold coin. His teachings are like a gold coin. Take the gold coin, you can bite it, test it, go melt it, see if it works. But don't take it at face value. Don't say like, "Oh, well, people say it'll make you happy. Maybe it will, maybe it won't." No, go test it out. Go test it out for yourself. And countless people have tested it out and it worked. And it's worked for me too. And so I've got my flight back home here in a few minutes. Well, not a few minutes, few hours. But I'm in Nepal still. I'll be flying out of Kathmandu in a moment here. And I've got the World Peace Pagoda here. Got to meet a lot of monks on the trip. Had a lot of pretty amazing coincidences on the trip. Running into the tour guide who is just a kid from India who knows these areas incredibly well was like the biggest blessing. And I just immediately had this sense of trust with him. I knew he was going to do the right thing, and he really went over and above to make sure I had a great experience, make sure I honored my grandma's ashes, and the rest is history. It's been a great experience. I hope everybody out there has the opportunity to find a practice that brings them deep peace. And I hope they have the opportunity to experience deep peace in their life and happiness and joy, because it exists. It's out there. Life is much more than just working and sleeping and eating and go dancing and drinking and watch a movie and stuff like that. There's a deep, infinite part of reality that is there. So, sending blessings to everybody out there. I hope you all have beautiful lives, and thank you for staying tuned and watching the video. I'll talk to you very shortly.